excellent points, guys, no doubt. Let's go and hear from the women's basketball team now.
I knew I was going to screw that up, too much time. And head coach Mike Leflar. Mike, if you could take a few minutes just to talk about the team in the upcoming season.
Yeah, really excited about who we've become this offseason and our level of competitiveness. And we're honestly just a bigger, stronger, faster team, and right now a very together bunch, and I'm excited about that. You know, last year, from a wins-loss perspective, obviously we really struggled, but I think, you know, we got a lot of things right off the court, and I was really excited to retain our staff, and we have good staff continuity. We've made great additions, our 4 freshmen, 3 players in the transfer portal, and then our 7 returners, you know, led by Steph, who was our most consistent player day in and day out last year. I think there's just a general sense and overall feeling that the players understand my expectations. My expectations are to win. I talk a lot about, you know, our players enjoying their entire UMass experience, on the court, off the court, academically, socially, and a big piece of that is being successful as a team and as a program. And I've set a much higher expectation. I've been much more clear about my expectations this year, and I've challenged our group early in the season, and I've been really happy with the way they've responded individually and as a team.
Thank you, Coach. We'll now open for questions.
Mike, Zach Weiss, Atlantic10.com. Good to see you again. The question basically is, what did you learn about yourself over the last season as it progressed? And Steph, how did you see him picking that up, and how did that just fire you up more just as a team member, just trying to figure it out together?
Yeah, thanks, Zach. Good to see you as well. You know, I think for me, you know, taking over the head coaching role just was we had a new coaching staff, and I probably didn't pay attention enough each day about keeping us on the same page. So already, you know, we were on the court a lot as a staff over the summer. We've been on the court more this fall, because I do want our entire staff, they have to be on the same page when it comes to communicating with our student athletes. So just that attention to detail for me was helpful. And then probably early or midway through the year last year, you know, I thought I had some individual conversations with some of our players then who said they wanted to be pushed on the court. And quite frankly, when we got down to the court, there was a big disconnect. And just for me, how to navigate that, how to handle that, how to continue to push through those things, you know, I've certainly learned through experience. And again, for me, just setting a higher standard, being more detailed with what I want and how I want our players to approach each practice and the things we're doing, I think is clearer. I hope Steph feels that, because I do want them to feel more of an urgency from me from day one.
Yeah, and as a team, I think that one of the main people that we look up to is obviously Coach Leflar, and it's just inspiring how bought in and how bad he wants to win. And I think that we have a lot of like-minded people that are bought into the same exact process, and we want the same things. So I think it's just inspiring that we can all get on the same page and drive to win.
Thanks, Zach. I don't think anyone has called me inspiring before, so thanks for putting those words in Steph's mouth as well.
Question over there.
Chris Powell, Couch Coach Live. Coach, I know you talked about in the opener as far as the togetherness of the team. What has been the difference in that?
Well, I think just we have players that fit my coaching style. You know, when we step between the lines, like, I'm going to push you and we're going to compete. And I think our players, you know, we added 4 freshmen who I and our coaching staff have recruited for years. So I think they understand what I wanted for their experience and from them. And, you know, adding 4 people that understand that is a big key. Our 3 transfers certainly understood that through the process. And our 7 returners understand the level of expectation. So I think there's just a general understanding or more buy-in from the start. And then when we got to work in summer workouts, like, it was really evident that competitiveness that they sought out, that they brought on the court each and every single day during the workouts. And it's continued into the start of official practice. So I think they're allowing me to push them. I think they're responding in an appropriate way. You know, I think Steph is really helping with that behind the scenes, and I keep pushing her to help that on the court as well. You know, I respect our players' time. If we're going to spend 2 hours on the court, I want it to be a really sharp 120 minutes. You know, I don't want to be messing around. We're not going to lose focus. And I just think we have a team that really leans towards wanting to put in the work to be successful, not just saying they want to be successful.
Mike, if you could talk about Allie and Aaliyah, what you identified with them, with how they fit and how they've challenged those that are back to just take that one more and find that next.
Yeah, I'm really excited about our front court. Obviously, Chineye Odenigbo is back and finished the season strong. You know, Aaliyah's someone that, you know, was close to a double-double for the last 2 years at Lipscomb. So to just add someone with her length, with her ability, with her experience, you know, adding someone, it was like 14-8 her first year at Lipscomb, 12-7 last year. There should be a confidence. I've talked with her about there should be a confidence that she's done it before. She's been great. We also were able to add Megan Olbrys from Villanova, who's brought that as well to just add depth and really talent to our front court. And then Allie, you know, watching her at practice every day last year, there were days where she was the best player on the floor at practice, and I was excited about this year for her. And this will be, you know, she's been in college basketball. This will be her fourth year, but her first year really playing and having responsibility on her shoulders. Conversations that she and I have had, and I'm excited for her to show everyone else what she can do.
Any other questions? One last question.
Steph, if you can take me through your journey as a Minutewoman, just the ups and the downs, the ebbs and the flows, and just what having this year with these ladies is going to mean to you.
Yeah, I mean, my last 3.5 years, at the end it's going to be 4.5 years at UMass, has been very different each year. I started off freshman year having a bit of an injury, so that was kind of the valley of it. And I think I've just grown as a person and a player each year, and each year we've had some new people, some new faces, so I think just being able to kind of fit like a puzzle piece into each team, and I think that that's something that this year our team is doing very well, and as a team I think that we all should fit as a puzzle, and then we can get a big picture at the end.
All right, thank you, Coach Leflar and Stefanie Kulesza. Good luck this season.
All right,
Thank you.
All right, welcome back inside the studio here. We just heard from both the men's and women's teams for UMass basketball. We'll catch up with Frank Martin on the men's side here in just a moment. Back inside the studio, Mike, Ice, and Phil. Yeah, 5 wins last year. You know he's not going to try to let that happen again. I mean, there's improvement that's going to be made for sure, I'm sure, on the women's side.
Yeah, what I like that Coach said was setting a higher standard. Oftentimes, that's exactly what it starts with. When you're trying to get better year after year, you're setting a higher standard. Hey, we have to make sure that we cut harder, we catch clean. We have to make sure that everyone is boxing out on the boards, not just 4 of us. So I feel like Coach Leflar is doing the right thing and saying we have to come in with a higher standard. And then having Steph Kulesza there, I mean, she's just experienced. She scores in a lot of different ways, but you could tell that she's a leader. I hope that she also is setting the standard, because I think standards are best set when they're player set. It's not always when the coach says, hey, we need to be the best today, but it's when your team captain is like, hey, we need to be better today. Now we're all bought in because my teammate, my sister to the left of me, is demanding more of me.
Well, and that's got to happen, I feel like, too, right, in this off-season, Coach, and in terms of, like, what are we doing, like, I don't say team building, but getting together and really getting to know, you know, who you're playing with and developing real relationships, right? It just, you can't just jump onto the court and be like, oh, I trust this player. No, you got to get to know them, right? Yeah.
You know, there was a coaching nugget in there that we can't miss. He talked about respecting their time. We have to, as coaches, be respecting our players' time. You're going to get more out of them, right? And the idea that he said, we're going to go hard for an hour and 20 minutes. There's a lot of teams out there that say, we practice 3 hours. We practice 3 hours and 15 minutes. Was it productive, Ice?
Right.
Right? So to me, respecting their time, that's a foundational build for that program.
Yeah, it's got to translate to the court for sure.